What's going on, alchemists? It is I, Jacksonation, and today I have another Akora deck profile. So, once again, Akora community, deck lists are taboo. Trying to change that. Want more transparency. More people sharing their lists. I think in an ideal world where we collaborate, we can, see what works, what doesn't, and ultimately we can become better players as a whole, but collectively, like individually, but then collectively we can see, what's the best deck for this attribute? What combo did we not see before? What has this person seen that we can now expand upon? Stuff like that. So I have right here a deck list very similar to the one used by DarkSuicune, who has given me permission to show off his list, and this is, kind of my take on the list. And I say my take, I mean like 2 cards are different because of I'm limited to what I have physically, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Warped is the best attribute, arguably, right now. I believe it was, I don't remember who won the CGC event tournament, but they were using Warped. And I don't know what their Akora was, but this list uses Warp Destroyer Valo. So let me show you here. So Akora, the Akora selection in any given deck is very important because you have all sorts of different synergies you got to be thinking of. Warp Destroyer Valo in particular is different than your theme deck, Seraph, Warped Seraph Zera, because it sacrifices some attack for some soul points. And that's a very interesting distinction to make because they both have the warrior synergy, and they're both, warped from Warp Crusaders, so they don't have any effects yet. They weren't introduced until Aetherial, so they're limited by the time, but one prioritizes attack while the other defense. So that's a big factor to be thinking about when you're choosing your Akora. We play 3 Warped Valo. We play 3 Warped Vile Valo. And our 3 Warp Destroyer Valo. Now I will preface, I have won with this list. I have defeated the Hazel Mazaz on Discord. They helped me practice this list, get familiar with it, so I could make this deck profile. So onto the alchemy deck here. We're going to start off with our Relic Shards, and then we'll do our 1/1s and work our way up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 Warped Relic Shards. That's very important because you may not necessarily be relicking up all the way, but you absolutely will be making use of Warped Ocean Cry, one of the best cards in this deck, and the best cards in Akora probably. And here's the kicker, it's not once per turn. From there, go on to our 1-ofs. We have 1 Warped Aetherial Armor, very solid ornament. 1 Warped Shell Shield. Again, in DarkSuicune's actual list, he runs 3 of this. I am limited to what I have, so I'm playing the 1. In place of the other 2, I'm using 2 Warped End of Eternities, which are it's still a solid card, but rather the Shell Shield. Playing 1 Warped Divine Blade, very good Warped attribute card, especially with the warrior synergy there. So that's why, again, you got to be thinking, what's out there? What can I use? If I want to say, okay, I want to use Warped Magikiko, well, you get the effect, but you're losing some very good cards in the attribute. From there, final 2 of is Warped Gallows Staff. Again, another powerful attack booster and allowing you to add a warped attribute card from your Dark Zone to your hand. So good for getting back those Warped Ocean Cries and other stuff like that. Playing our 3 Warp Time Reversal. This is, again, pretty standard warped stuff. Very good. Your Warped Wild Calling, again, standard play set there. Search your Alchemy deck for Warped Attribute Ornament card. Reveal it and add it to your hand. Very good for getting those, what was it? Your staffs, I believe, as well as, yep, your Gallows Staff, as well as the Divine Blade is what you're going to be searching with that. So getting those good cards there. You have your play set of Warped Leap of Faith. Very solid card. Revealing the bottom card of the deck and playing it, letting you get multiple Relic Shards out in a turn. Again, very solid. And this also, as well, is not once per turn. So you can pull off some nice combos and be able to utilize that to its fullest extent. Again, another reason this deck is fairly crazy. Here's the card, Warped Ocean Cry. I know it's made a few players cry for sure. And this is absolutely probably the most popular attribute right about now, and for good reason. It's very powerful. Stitch, a lot of new players are picking up the deck. It's easy to learn, and it's got a pretty straightforward game plan, and it's just really mean. And no deck is without its battle zone. Here we have Warped Fortress. Again, your standard attack power boost for your Relic Shards. And then you also have the retrieval effect, allowing you to use a multi-attribute flash card in your opponent's Dark Zone, which could come in handy. Say they have some Ancient Callings or something. Very good card to have. Good in a pinch, and your general straightforward battle zone. So that is my Warp Destroyer Valo list for the Akora TCG. Heavily inspired by the list of DarkSuicune. Again, thank you to him for approving my use of my employment of his ratios. Absolutely hit him up on Discord if you need any tips about some sort of deck building or anything like that, or play testing. I'm sure he'd be down. He and Red Baron would be more than happy to do some play testing with you on Tabletop Simulator. Very nice people. Very good ambassadors for this community. But overall, I hope you guys really enjoyed this list, because I had a good time. I had a good time playing it. I played a match, defeated the Hazel Mazaz, and he's like, I had a few other decks I wanted to try out, and he's like, yeah, you want to switch decks now? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I popped off. But yeah, hoping this helps any new alchemists looking to, get into Akora and, not be so lost, having that kind of direction. This is what your deck maybe should be looking like. And again, a lot of things are going to impact how your list is, your Akora, your game plan, different things are going to impact your stuff. I mean, with this, you're just trying to, get rid of all of your opponent's alchemy cards, and from there, you're just kind of just attacking for game at that point. So it's a very solid list. I highly recommend it. Be pumping out a few more deck profiles. I got some more bulk cards coming from a few different people. Got some more lists in the works. I've been talking to some of the brightest minds of the game, so that'll be a good time, and I'll get some nice resources out there for any new players. Also, another neat announcement: I'm also one of the newest moderators of the Alchemy Order, the Akora Market Discord. That's neat. That's fun. So So again, thank you to Titan Collects for trusting me, giving me that opportunity. So I'll be helping out there. Remember, guys, if you're not a verified seller, timestamps. Include your timestamps. Date those posts, all right? And we won't have any issues. Alrighty, well, appreciate y'all for joining me today. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.